Jim Parsons was at the pinnacle of his career, having transformed into a television phenomenon through his portrayal of Sheldon Cooper. The character became the very heart of The Big Bang Theory, a show that consistently drew around 18 million viewers per episode. Parsons' earnings reflected his status. He commanded an astounding $1 million per day of filming, a figure that earned him the distinction of being the highest-paid actor on television, according to Forbes. At one point, he was reportedly offered a staggering $50 million to continue portraying Sheldon for additional seasons. In a decision that stunned colleagues and fans alike, Parsons declined the offer. The reasoning behind this choice was not financial, but deeply personal, tied to an intensely challenging period in his life. What should have been an ordinary summer in 2018 instead became a maelstrom of emotional and professional turmoil, one Parsons later described as almost cosmic. By the time the storm passed, the longest-running multi-camera sitcom in television history had reached its conclusion. The first and most devastating challenge was intensely personal. Jim and his husband, Todd Spiewak, shared 2 dogs, companions they had raised together since Jim was 31. One of the dogs, then 14 years old, was approaching the end of its life. Meanwhile, Parsons was performing 8 shows a week in the Broadway revival of The Boys in the Band in New York City. His schedule was grueling. He frequently flew between Los Angeles for filming and back to New York for performances. During this demanding period, his dog's health rapidly deteriorated. He recalled one particular walk in the park before a commercial shoot, noticing just how grave the situation had become. Emotionally drained, he struggled to maintain his composure while grappling with guilt over not being fully present for a dog that had been a part of his life for over a decade. Todd reminded him of the obligations they had made and the adjustments others had made in their own lives to accommodate Jim's career. Despite feeling trapped between professional commitments and personal grief, the couple made the heart-wrenching decision to euthanize their beloved dog at home the following day. Although the moment passed, its emotional resonance lingered far longer than he anticipated. Barely a reprieve came before another challenge arose. Within days of returning to the stage, Parsons suffered a severe foot fracture during a performance of The Boys in the Band. In spite of excruciating pain, he completed the show, only to later recognize at the hospital the frailty of the human body. For someone whose craft depended on precise physicality, the injury provoked deep anxiety. What if he could no longer perform, disappoint others, or be unable to continue working entirely? Though he eventually recovered and returned to the stage, the awareness of his own vulnerability remained, an unshakable shadow over his thoughts. This awareness of mortality deepened with another realization. Parsons' father had passed away at 52 when Jim was only 26. By 2018, at age 45, Parsons began reflecting on the timeline of his life. Accepting a hypothetical season 14 contract would see him 47 by the end, merely 5 years shy of his father's age at death. On a podcast, he explained that this was not a matter of superstition, but of context, an unflinching acknowledgement of life's finitude. He questioned whether he genuinely wanted to spend his remaining years on the same set, wearing the same superhero t-shirts, portraying the same character repeatedly. The consideration was unavoidable and haunting, a reality even someone like Sheldon could not resolve. At the same time, Todd encouraged Parsons to explore fresh, creative avenues. The couple had launched That's Wonderful Productions in 2015 and secured a deal with Warner Brothers Television. Yet Jim's rigorous schedule left him unable to fully engage. His commitments spanned 8 Big Bang Theory episodes over approximately 22 weeks in Los Angeles, 8 weekly Broadway performances in New York, and filming for the Netflix limited series Hollywood, in which he portrayed Henry Wilson. Additional obligations included an Intel commercial contract. The relentless pace drained him physically and mentally, forcing Parsons to confront whether he could dedicate more years of his life to the show. Ultimately, he realized he could not. By August 2018, after a summer marked by exhaustion and emotional strain, Parsons returned to Los Angeles determined to make a decision. He visited Chuck Lorre, co-creator of The Big Bang Theory, and conveyed that he would not be signing on for seasons 13 and 14. Laurie responded with understanding and compassion, acknowledging the indispensable role of Sheldon Cooper while accepting Parsons' choice without attempting to sway him with money. Days later, Parsons gathered his castmates, Johnny Galecki, Kaylee Cuoco, Simon Helberg, Mayim Bialik, and Melissa Rauch, in a dressing room to share the news. The revelation left the group in tears. Galecki later admitted he felt blindsided, not because of the decision itself, but because Parsons had first informed the show's creators. Over time, the cast came to appreciate that Parsons had voiced the collective unease that many were quietly feeling. On August 22, 2018, CBS and Warner Brothers announced that Season 12 would be The Big Bang Theory's final season. The conclusion was not driven by declining ratings or a lack of creativity, but by Parsons' decision to step away. Sheldon Cooper's journey had reached its natural end. He won the Nobel Prize, married Amy Farrah Fowler, and evolved from a rigid, socially awkward genius into a man capable of love, friendship, and emotional growth. One of television's most poignant moments followed, as Sheldon reconciled with his friends. Parsons compared this to finishing a novel. One does not add chapters, simply because readers enjoy the story. The 2-hour series finale drew 18.5 million live viewers, with millions more streaming it afterward, delivering a poignant farewell to a show that had dominated television for over a decade. Despite fleeting fears about leaving, Parsons has stated that he holds no regrets. Long before television fame, Jim Parsons was a theater-obsessed child from Texas. Born on March 24, 1973, in Houston and raised in the northern suburb of Spring, his upbringing was largely ordinary. His mother worked as a teacher, while his father ran a plumbing supply business. Yet from age 6, Parsons was certain he wanted to act, experiencing a formative moment when he played the Coca-Cola bird in a school production of The Elephant's Child. After high school, doubt crept in, and he initially set aside his aspirations. Enrolling at the University of Houston, he avoided theater, reasoning that acting was too risky a career choice. After 2 years, he realized that acting was essential to his happiness. Changing his major to theater, he immersed himself in the craft, appearing in 17 productions over 3 years. Parsons co-founded Infernal Bridegroom Productions and became a regular performer at the stage's Repertory Theater. After graduation, he pursued advanced studies at the University of San Diego in collaboration with the Old Globe Theater, where only 7 students were accepted that year. Though program director Rick Sear initially questioned whether Parsons' unconventional personality could adapt to classical theater, Parsons proved successful, earning his Master of Fine Arts in 2001 and moving to New York City to pursue his dreams. Life in New York was grueling. Parsons auditioned for 15 to 30 television pilots at a time, often facing rejection or pilots that never aired. He supported himself through theater and commercials, securing a guest role on Ed in 2002, a minor part in the indie film Garden State in 2004, and a recurring role on Judging Amy. The turning point came in 2006, when he auditioned for The Big Bang Theory. While he did not relate personally to Sheldon Cooper, he was captivated by the character's dialogue. His audition was so precise and rhythmically perfect that creator Chuck Lorre requested a second round, confirming the magic Parsons brought to the role. When The Big Bang Theory premiered on September 24, 2007, critics were initially mixed, uncertain how audiences would respond to a sitcom about socially awkward physicists. Viewers, however, embraced the show immediately. By the 3rd season, it was CBS's most-watched program, drawing over 12 million viewers per episode. Parsons accrued numerous accolades, including 4 Primetime Emmy Awards for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Comedy Series, 2010, 2011, 2013, and 2014, and a Golden Globe in 2011, along with consecutive Emmy nominations from 2009 through 2014. His salary reflected his status. From $200,000 per episode in 2010, he rose to $1 million per episode by 2014, plus over 1% of the series' total earnings. Forbes consistently named him the highest-paid television actor from 2015 to 2018, including a $27.5 million earning in 2017. Even amidst television triumphs, Parsons never abandoned theater. He made his Broadway debut in 2011 with Larry Kramer's The Normal Heart, a project personally significant to him as a gay man in a long-term relationship with Todd Spiewak. He continued with roles in Harvey 2012, An Act of God 2015, and The Boys in the Band 2018, the last winning a Tony Award for Best Revival. He reprised his role in the 2020 film adaptation, maintaining a balance between stage and screen until his body and mind indicated it was time to slow down. Following the conclusion of The Big Bang Theory in 2019, the franchise continued with Young Sheldon, which ran for 7 seasons and ended in 2024, with Parsons narrating and executive producing. Another spin-off, Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage, aired on CBS. Currently, the most notable project is Stuart Fails to Save the Universe on HBO Max, a multiverse-centric storyline featuring Stuart Bloom, whose mismanagement of a device built by Sheldon and Leonard causes a multiverse crisis. While fans speculate on Parsons' potential return, he has indicated he will not appear, though alternate versions of characters in different timelines leave room for untold stories. Franchise creator Chuck Lorre has remained deliberately vague about Parsons and Galecki's involvement, hinting at possibilities without confirming anything. Since stepping away from The Big Bang Theory, Parsons has remained highly active. In 2020, he reprised his role as Michael in the film adaptation of The Boys in the Band, earning an Emmy nomination for his performance as Henry Wilson in Hollywood. In 2022, he starred in Spoiler Alert, a romantic drama about a terminal illness, receiving wide acclaim. He returned to Broadway in 2024 in Mother Play and Our Town, earning a Tony nomination for his work in Mother Play. Parsons continues as executive producer and narrator for Big Bang Theory-related projects, maintaining a connection to Sheldon Cooper without donning the iconic T-shirts. The character of Sheldon Cooper remains iconic, and Parsons' portrayal has left an indelible mark on television comedy. Words like bazinga entered everyday language, and Sheldon's spot on the couch became legendary. While fans continue to hope for his return, the decision ultimately rests with Parsons, whose career continues to balance stage and screen with precision, passion, and distinction, a testament to his enduring dedication to both mediums.